Yes, there we go. Oh, sweet. Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go. Yeah. I feel yeah, got all this energy and then it's flip on. I'm like, burn. But, I did have a thing I was going to start with, but anyways, I forgot what it is. So let's go. Press on. Let's see. This past weekend, just a good podcast by Theo Von. Check him out. UFC 269. Right now, a lot happened. So I'll start it with, maybe I'll put it up here. But yeah, I did do my, I did some aggressive parlays. Oh no, this one, it was a big card. A lot of names on a lot of storylines coming in and coming out of it, being made leading up to it, and then like the stories continue after. And there's, what was the thing I was gonna say? Damn it, I just forgot. I don't remember. But so anyways, yeah. So a lot happened. Oh, yeah, that was a point. So I did a bunch of bets. I posted it in the Discord. Instagram is still being weird. Like I still doesn't let me log in or whatever, and I don't care that enough about it to try to fucking press through it. So I put the stuff up in Discord now, and what's the other thing I was gonna say? Put them up in Discord. Oh yeah. So I put the bets up there, so I'll post them up or put them up on the screen here so you can see them. But man, it was looking good going into it. Or it was exciting. I was trying the first one. I'll just read through them. It was a 10-leg parlay. I'll put it up here. But it was what you should be seeing is, or if you're just listening, I'll read it. The 10-leg parlay was Miranda Maverick to win. These are all to win. So Miranda Maverick, Ryan Hall, Sugar Show, Amanda Nunes, Kai France. So it was Miranda Maverick versus Oh, I wrote it right here, didn't I? Gosh damn, I didn't write her name. Erin Blanchfield. Sorry, my bad. I'm pretty sure it's Erin Blanchfield. So it's Amanda Maverick needs to beat Erin Blanchfield. Ryan Hall needed to beat. I forgot his opponents. Oh, Minner. Yeah, Darrick Minner. Sugar about Italian Paiva. Nunes needed to beat Pena. Kai France needed to beat Cody Garbrandt. Poirier needed to beat Oliveira. Robertson needed to beat Kashera. Was that your name? Kashera? I don't know. Then Silva, Bruno Silva needed to win. Tuivasa. Fuck, who did Tuivasa beat? Fuck, I didn't write his opponent. My bad. Disrespect. And then Ige needed to win. So basically, Maverick, Hall, Sugar Show, Nunes, Kai France, Poirier, Robertson, Silva, Tuivasa, and Ige for that 10-leg one. Then the 6th one was Ryan Hall, Maverick, or Miranda Maverick, Ige, Sugar, Kai France, and Nunes. Then there's a 4-leg parlay, Ige, Cruz, France, Kai France, and Poirier, El Diamante. Another 4-leg was for France, Ige, Cruz, and Oliveira. The difference there obviously being like one for if Poirier wins, the other one if Oliveira wins. And then the 3-leg one was Kai France, Ige, and Oliveira. Because going into it, of course, I'll skip ahead. If you don't know the news already, fucking dethroned. Well, sort of dethroned. Amanda Nunes, the Lioness, defeated by Juliana Pena. But so she's still the fucking 145 queen, but now she's not a current current champ. She's the last champ. Current active champ. There we go, active. Because Conor, he got his belts and didn't defend either, but he's the first champ. And then Cormier, was Daniel first? Yeah, because Cormier did it, and then Henry Cejudo. And then, Amanda did it before Henry Cejudo. And then, so Amanda and then Cejudo. And then Cejudo bounced. Took their belt and ran. Sorry, Uncle Dana. Uh, so he double champ and bounced. But anyway, so those are things. But yeah, so going into, I mean, like Dan Ige, I mean, he had that loss to Cater. He was like that. He was like that surging prospect, and then he lost to Cater. And then his fight after that was it Shane Burgos? I think was his next fight after that. And he fucking just fucking put him to sleep with his face on the mat and his ass straight up in the air. It was great. Maybe I can put a clip. I don't know, but it was good. And but anyways, I mean, Ige's a beast. So I figured, who was Ige fighting? Did I write it? Yeah, Emmet. I mean, Emmet's a beast, but I was like, I mean, in my mind, I'm like Ige. I think, are they ranked right now? Did I write it down? I don't know if they're ranked. I'll look it up. I'll put it up. But in my mind, like Dan Ige's top 10. Like he's for sure. He's in my head, I'm thinking title contender. Same thing with Calvin Kattar. You know, like top 10 can break into the top 5. Could on a it's possible that they could win a champ. It's possible. Like they're contenders. They're in there. But I mean, it's the fight game. So I thought he was gonna come out and beat Josh Emmet, and I thought he beat Josh Emmet. Anyways, I'm skipping ahead. Well, fuck it. It doesn't matter what order. So I'll talk about this because that was my. So the basis of my parlays. Because looking at Danny Diaz, like, yeah, all right, he's gonna beat Josh Emmet. Josh Emmett is tough. He's good, but I just thought Ige was gonna, I thought his pressure. I didn't think he was gonna knock him out, but I felt like maybe a TKO, like an accumulation towards it. Maybe I didn't think he was, but I thought he was gonna, he was gonna outbox him and outpoint him. Because I mean that fight with Cater was, I mean he lost, but he was in there, so. But yeah, so he lost the decision, the split decision, I think, when it came out. Yeah, it came out 29-28, 29-28. Oh, yeah, 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27. So some judge gave all the rounds to fucking Emmet, which Ige for sure would have here. Like round 1, Ige got dropped. Emmet dropped him. But he got up and came back. But he dropped him. So we can. I think Ige might have ended up. Did he take a... I don't know either way, but for sure, I don't have any argument with round 1 going to Emmet for sure. I mean, because he dropped Ige, so that's right there. And then round two it went. Oh yeah, well I guess so. Round 2 it kind of went back and forth. Yeah, because going. Yeah, because I felt Ige won 2 because it's, and I think the announcers even said it seemed like it was 1-1 going into the third round. Emmet does land a big right, but Ige's jab was working. Oh yeah. I thought he was gonna land a leg or a head kick because he was feinting the shot, throws a kick when Emmet was coming up, but dang. I don't know. I'm going to watch it again. But I felt like Ige got 2 and 3, like cleanly. I can't remember which one, but I feel like he got either 2 or 3 pretty cleanly. And then, like, the other one was like, I guess it could go either way. But anyways, so that really fucked me. If Ige had not... If they had given that, oh yeah, that's the other thing too. Say 30-27. So you're saying that Ige didn't win any rounds in that fucking fight, which is he at least there's one. They didn't give him any rounds, so bad judging. I'm blaming on bad judging, but the result is loss. So the fucking money, like they don't care about that. The fucking the bookies, they don't care about that. That's what I was trying to say. So anyway, Ige, that fucking fuck that. If Ige had won. Then my Kai France Ige Oliveira one would have hit. My France Ige Cruz Oliveira one would have hit, which would have been a fucking. I'll have the thing up here for however much it was. I think it was like 5 units to win. Like 98 units or something like that. It would have been a good fucking man. But anyway, so Ige lost. And then also Yeah, this is all I'll talk about. And then so Miranda Maverick too. So going into it, so Erin Blanchfield. I'm trying to remember I remember the last fight. I can't remember who she was, but I remember she was. Oh, I'll put it up. She did well, but fuck. And then Miranda Maverick. So I'm thinking, like Miranda Maverick, like her last fight, she lost that split decision, or the I don't know if it's a split decision or not, but she lost the decision to Macy Barber, which was controversial. It looked. I think in that one too, I had bet on Macy Barber. I don't know if it was a straight bet or if it was she was part of a parlay, but I needed her to win. But I was betting on her, but I didn't think she won that fight. But anyways, and then Miranda Maverick, she's piece on the ground. She's super strong. I was showing her doing like talking about. She's been fucking flinging around in bales of hay since she was a little girl or whatever they talk about, calling her farm girl. But she's fucking strong. But Erin Blanchfield just literally mopped the floor with her. Just grabbed her, fucking yanked her down, fucking just dragged her back and forth across the mat and did whatever she wanted with her basically. So, I mean, I'm not mad at that loss because it was clear. Erin Blanchfield fucking wrecked her. I mean, that was impressive. And Maverick, she had all this hype behind her coming in, and then this was supposed to be like her, because she beat, or like they're saying, yeah, we believe she beat Macy Barber. Give her Erin Blanchfield, and she beats her, and then see, she is as good as we were saying. But man, she got outclassed. Erin Blanchfield was stronger. She out grappled her. Man, so I mean, I'm not mad at that. I mean, that's what happened. She got out grappled. Oh yeah, because in the third round it was like Hail Mary. They're like, yeah, you need a finisher. So I don't know, maybe so the first half of the third round, she's keeping it on the feet, and she's winning the round on the feet. And then like right at the 2.5 minute mark, she goes in and she clinches and pushes Maverick. Pushes Blanchfield to the fence and clinches, and then I think she ends up getting taken down. But right as she did, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why? The first 2 rounds, that's how you were getting beat the whole time, grappling. You got beat. Whenever she clenched you, she put you to the fence. She'd fucking underhook you, turn you, and then fucking take you down, fucking trip her, inside leg trip. Like, just, she's doing whatever she wanted with you when you grappled. Like, why are you clenching? Of course, that's me saying that from the couch. But... And also, like, I need you to fucking... You're like... I think she was, like, the first... Or the second leg of the parlay. I was like, you need to fucking win. I was like, you're not going to win fucking grappling with this girl. And then she didn't, so... that was frustrating. But anyway, so those were the two... So, I mean, for the 10-leg one, it was Maverick and Ige. So, those two that didn't hit. That Ige fucking robbery, I feel like. But Maverick, like, dang. So, that 10-1, I'm like... yeah, that one didn't go through. But those were the two that I got wrong. Was Miranda Maverick and Dan Ige. All the other ones were wrong, but they were all set as parlay. Oh, and then my straight bets I did was Ryan Hall, because I was like, all right, if Ryan Hall wins, it's gonna be by submission. So I put the thing should be up there. It was like Ryan Hall round 1 submission was like plus 800 or whatever it was. But so I did a straight bet for each round, like Ryan Hall submission round 1, Ryan Hall submission round 2, Ryan Hall submission round 3. Because it's like, all right, if he wins, it's gonna be fucking he's gonna submit him. It's all this fucking crazy rolls and shit. What did I write here about that fight? Cruz and Munhoz, Ige Emmet. Is that not right? Oh, Hall and Minner. There we go. Yeah, so because he had 7 submission attempts. Was it a record? I don't know. I have to double check. So Hall attempted 7 attempts. I mean, fucking big ups to Minner for getting out all that shit. Because it was like the whole time Hall was just chasing. Professor Hall was chasing those submissions the whole time. Like Minner was in danger. That whole So round 3 for sure. Round 3. I thought Hall won for sure. Minor was landing heavier strikes, but Hall could always it's just so goofy. Some of the ways he gets him to chase him, then he does this I don't know what it is, I don't know, just like a fucking backwards roll into an Imanari, just to get to his leg. It was crazy. But anyways, It's 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. So I guess Minor could have gotten round one, whatever. But I mean, Hall was dominating. Like once he got into grappling or anything, obviously he's a specialist. But anyways, so he did win, but that none of those hit because he didn't win by submission. But he was fucking close the whole way through. So, every bet I made, fucking all the parlays busted, and then those straight ones where I was like I was right but wrong. And then so that's pretty much the highlights of what I was looking at. Oh well, I guess of why my shit didn't go through, but just the fights in general. Jillian Robertson took that neck, which I figured she was gonna submit her Cachoeira or whatever her name is. Oh, and that chick, she was like, so while Miranda Maverick's on her, or not Miranda Maverick, Jillian Robertson's on Cachoeira's back. She's got her the rear neck choked in. I think she had figure four whatever, and she had the hand hidden. So Cachoeira can't find her hands. She's like just blatantly putting back at least two times. She reaches back and puts her thumb right in her eye. And I think was it Tagnoni or Herb Dean? I think it was Tagnoni was right there. The ref, Chris Tagnoni, and he was like slaps her hand because he's like cut it out. He's like stop. Get out of the, but you know what I mean? He's slapping the hand. But he's not going to, because she's in the middle of choking her out. So it would be at her disadvantage if he's like, whoa, stop, reset. That was an eye poke. You know what I mean? Even if he took a point, because she finishes the fight in the next couple seconds there. But yeah, she fucking just stuck her thumb. She missed weight by 3 pounds. And then she was stabbing her thumb into her eye so she doesn't get choked out. But anyways, Robinson looked good there. Then Kelly and Costa. Kelly dominated Costa the whole time, and then TKO by ground and pound and ran to round 2. Holland Minner talked about that. Maverick talked about that. Tuivasa. I'll put a thing up of his fucking shoey. Smart for him. That's what a fucking great promotional we say gimmick, but I don't want to say gimmick because that kind of makes it sound cheap. It's like a brand. What is it called? Not gimmick or brand. It's like personal branding, or it's not a call sign, but whatever the words are for it. But anyways, what a great thing. That's a great. I'm gonna keep saying gimmick, but I don't mean it to belittle it or to minimize it, because it's genius. Because now now I can say, oh, this is him, and I'll put that. Look, this is here. Put a little GIF of him doing graphic, GIF. Put a little GIF of him doing the fucking shoey. And that sticks in people. And people are like, oh, yeah, the shoey guy. So he does this vicious knockout in the beginning of the second round. And then, oh, yeah, there's a weird thing that happened. I'll talk about. But then he did a shoey. And then he does a bunch of shoeys. Man, fun of him when he's walking out. When he walks through the overpass where they come out of the locker room. And it's the little open way, the, gladiator chute or whatever when they're coming out of the chute. And he just walks under and opens his mouth and walks under all the fucking and has people pour shoeys or just pour beers from the stands into his mouth trying to get fucking roofied, dude. Poisoned or something. Roofied, dude. Poisoned or something. Or, well, I guess in the shoe you spit in it anyways. So it's you fill the shoe with spit or beer, then you spit in it, and then you drink it. So I guess if people piss in it or spit in it, he's fine, I guess. Ugh. Good for him, man. Oof. But yeah, if that's what powers those knockouts, I'll drink fucking piss. If I can knock people out like Tuivasa, I'll drink piss out of a shoe. And then Cruz and Munhoz. Cruz was ranked 8. Munhoz was ranked, or Cruz was ranked 9. Munhoz was ranked 8. So good for Dominick Cruz. Looking good. Yeah, I guess because his injuries are healed up, because he's having all those surgeries before and whatnot. He didn't have his ankle wraps on or anything, and he looked good. His footwork looked good. He got caught a couple times, but for the most part, I mean, he fucking. Oh yeah, in round 1, because I think this was the first fight of the. Oh no, it wasn't the first one, but it was one of the. of these other parlays. So it was like I was like, oh fuck, I need this one. And like in the first round, Munhoz drops like he looked like he like maybe flashed like he was out. It's like he's done. Fuck, he's done in the first round. But he wrestled through. I think he like chased a single leg and then was able to get a takedown and catch his breath, but and recovered. But it was like it looked in that first round. I was like, fuck, he's done. It's like fuck, it's over. But then he came out in the second round. He was strong. Like after that, his footwork, feints, and combos. His second was strong. Third was strong, and then score came out 29-28. So yeah, they gave him 2. So he lost that first round, and then he just took the second and third. And then like his message at the end was like saying, hey, it's like a time that people are trying to separate us. He's like, everyone, like we need to be together. Everyone, like as human beings, just be like one people, be like to like support each other and don't let whoever the powers that be separate us and fight like to fight against each other, work together. So it's like I thought that was cool. Good call out or a good thing after. It's second only to his call out of Hans Molenkamp. That was a great one. The thing was, yeah. So in the Tuivasa fight, there's like this thing that's popped up. I took a picture, man. I'll put it up. I don't know what it was. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I asked one of my brothers because he works in computer stuff, IT. He works in computer stuff, and asked him about it, and I'll put the thing up. But he said he thinks it's some current like vulnerability that just came out or something. And I was like, oh shit, is that my ISP or is that ESPN that's having that issue? But other people that were watching the fight, it popped up on their thing too. So it looks like ESPN got by somebody. Anyway, and then so Ige and Emmet, I talked about that. Sugar Show, just hey man, Sugar Show. And you know what's great? So I was on. So they used that their Patreon. So there's Sugar's and his coach Tim Welsh. They have their podcast, the Timbo Sugar Show, and I used to be on their Patreon. Then they split now. I think Sugar's on all his on OnlyFans. I still follow the Patreon, but it's at a lower tier now. Because before they were putting stuff out together, and now it's kind of separated. Now the Patreon's it's like Red Hawk Academy, I think it's called. It's all Tim Welsh. Like he's putting stuff out about like daily, not affirmations, but like stuff he reads that he likes or that makes him like to really think about things about life. And if he has questions and stuff like that, he'll post that, and he posts like meal prep, like healthy meal prep. And then like training, like lots of jiu-jitsu or MMA tips and fighting, like not tutorials, but he'll do like breakdowns and or show you how to do like moves and different kind of things, or talk about whatever. So there's a ton of information. It's just different. Like before, it was like more about, it was like him and Sugar. It was like more about all them. Now it's yeah. So it's not bad. It's just different than what it was. Damn, what was the point of me talking about that? So they... Oh, yeah, that's why I was saying that. So they had a thing, too, where you could like call in or text in or something. And it's like, what is your... And I think it was a year ago. Because I think it was like, what is your New Year's wish? Or I can't remember. It was like, maybe it wasn't at the New Year. But it was like, what is your number one wish or something like that? And mine was like, I started out super corny, like, well, I guess I'll skip all the altruistic, whatever answers people are going to give. And instead of saying world peace and puppies for everybody. But my thing, but when I actually got into answering the actual question, my thing was like, I want to see Sugar and Chito Vera fight fight each other for the title, a number one contender spot, or some sort of main event situation of not of substance. I mean, they're all of substance if it's a main event, but should be. But like a main event with implications. There we go. So I want it to be like a number one contender or a title fight or something like that, interim belt. You know what I mean? So something where Chito and Sugar come together, and the whole storyline from that, Chito being his first loss, even though Sugar says no, 0 losses. I love that when Bruce Buffer announces him now, and he's like 14-1. He goes when he goes 14 victories and 1 defeat. Sugar holds up, he's like 0 defeats, 15-0, unranked champion. But anyways, yeah, I'm rambling now. But anyways, yeah. So Sugar Show. Oh yeah, so I was going like back. That's what I said I wanted to see, and also like because back then too I was like hard on Sugar's nuts. So when he lost to Chito, I was like fuck. I was just like I was automatically biased. I was like fuck this fucking Chito Marlon Vera motherfucker. Like what gym does he work at? I need to find his gym and fucking hunt down these people. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why I was so emotionally invested in it, but whatever. It was COVID. I had a lot of time to look at podcasts and get in emotional relationships. but yeah, and then the thing that I saw that changed my mind about Chito was I saw his food truck he did on because it's called Food Truck Diaries. The thing Brendan Schaub does on Showtime, where like fighters come out and then they have a food truck and he talks to them. But anyway, so Chito came out on that and told like his life story basically, and then like about his daughter, because like he was like immigrant, like he was fighting. He's from Ecuador, and and he's fighting to he was fighting there, but not making a lot. And he's like, yeah, I gotta go. He's like, to make money, I gotta be in like the UFC or whatever. So he came to the States to train. He left his family. It was like sending money home, and he's like, every fight that he took was like, all the money went to like getting his family to the States. But also his daughter had like I don't know if it's like a nerve or spine. It's like a degenerative or some kind of like some kind of medical condition, and like it was really serious, like life threatening, like really serious. So like so he was winning his fights. Like he had to win every fight. Like if he lost the fight, he wouldn't have like basically his family would just wither on the vine and die. So he's all his fights really matter because he needs all the money. And then so he's winning his fights so when then he gets to the UFC, I think, and then he starts winning or he's continuing to win fights, and then get enough. So they have enough where they can buy a house. Because he's like, yeah, that's the plan is like to buy the house. Because I think he gets his family to the States with. So like he wins a fight, then he can afford to get his family to the States. And then he wins another one, and then they're able to like get set up. And then he needs another fight then they're going to buy a house. So then after that, and he's like, win one more fight, then he has enough. He can pay, I think, down payment on his house. Then they'll have the house, and his family is in America. He has the house, and they're set. And then he's like, after that, everything's kind of gravy. But then their daughter is like, has the disease or whatever, and it might not even threatening. But if they didn't get the surgery, like developmentally, because she was so young, developmentally, that would set her way behind, like further down the road. So he said he looked at his daughter, and he's like, I got it. He's like, no, we got to put the money for that, because he's like, how am I gonna be living in a house and then see my daughter like having medical issues and be like, well, we had. He's like, no, get her healthy first, and then we'll worry about a house. So then so they did that, and then so then he's able to do that, and then he lost the fight to I think Song Yadong, which everyone was like, no, you won. So then did they give him the Sugar fight after that, or did they have one in between? But either way, coming into the Sugar fight, there was a lot riding on that. Like he needed that win. So in a lot of like when after I saw that when he's telling the story too, because he's like he needed that win. Like his family needed him to win, like for all of it. So that win really like was like a life changing in a way, not life altering, because he was able to like hit that like not final step in taking care of his family, but one of the big hurdles he was able to overcome and this was before the surgery had already happened, I believe. But they still needed this. Maybe this one was to get the house or whatever, so that they could stay. But either way, after listening to his whole story, it's like, fuck, he's actually a good dude. He's funny. He's just talking shit the whole time. Like, and then now you see him, because he's at Ruka Gym, so he's buddies with. So Jason Perillo is like his head coach now, who had been. So I guess, like, what do you say? He's his protege. He's Jason Perillo's current protege. And then Michael Bisping was the former, champion protege. And then Island Boy, BJ Penn. Fuck, I forget his name. BJ Penn was his protege before that. So, man, like, once you start learning people's stories, it's hard to, like, a lot of times once you humanize. That's why, like Cruz was talking about, don't let them separate us. When we separate ourselves, we start labeling people so that we can outgroup them and say, oh, they're different than me. Like, once we start, then we're dividing up amongst each other, then it's like, then we're just fighting each other and we're dehumanizing each other. Then it's easy to just take away from other people, because we're like, no, they're either not people or they're not people. Like, I'm people. You know what I mean? So let's not do that, is what he was saying, and I support that, or that message of not, like, of humanize, like, let's humanize each other. What do we call it? Dialectical synthesis and rigorous empathy. Shout out Daniel Schmachtenberger. But anyway, so yeah, after that with Chito, I was like, fuck, I actually like this guy. Cause like when Sugar lost to him, I was like, fuck Chito, see you on the prelims, bitch, and shit like that. But I mean, you can't deny him too. He's good. Look at it. I mean, he could have beat Aldo, but Aldo did beat him in that last. I mean, he adjusted his game to it. So anyways, saying all of that leading up, maybe I will get my wish that I had when I texted into the Timbo Sugar show of a main event with implications between Sugar and Chito. It'd be sweet. Because the better Chito does, because now, like, before I was like, fuck Chito, I was Jin burns the ground, but now I'm like, the better Chito does, the better for Sean, for Sugar Show O'Malley, because it can lead up to that, just builds a story, and the better he does, then it's like, if he's his one loss, the better he does too, it looks better, like, if you lost to a guy that everybody beats, and it's like, oh wow. But anyways, let me get off Chito and Sugar's genitalia and move on. Yeah, but that was my one note in here I wrote for Sugar. That was just Sugar Show, because like he just all these fucking. I think because he's so flamboyant and loud, that's why like people hate him. So because they're just like, shut the fuck up. How dare you be so confident and actually good? I get it. And I get because he's buddies with Jake Paul and 6ix9ine, I guess. People don't like that either, but whatever. But anyways, yeah, that was my note. Sugar Show. Check him out. Oh yeah, Kai Karf. Oh yeah, and then so this other thing too in the pre-fight press conference, when the instigating ass journalist says to Sugar, he's like, or I don't remember if he was talking to Sugar or if he was talking to Cody. I think he was talking to Cody, and he's like, hey. But either way, they were because they were interviewing Cody, and then they talk about Sugar, and they're like, hey, so you've said you guys have had beef in the media or whatever, you've talked shit to each other or something, and Cody's like, fuck him, I don't care, and then, or maybe they even asked Sugar, I have to go back and look, they asked Sugar the question while they were interviewing Cody, and then like, so they went back and forth, and obviously Sugar had the better comebacks, and then one of the best one was like super subtle. I don't know if people even caught it, but like Sugar's talking, and then Cody's like talking shit, and then but it was just like rambling, and Sugar's just like he's talking, he's like, oh what's up, bud? Like kind of like he's like, oh sorry buddy, what was that? No one can hear you because no one's listening. What's up, bud? But that's all. He's just like, oh, he's talking, and he's like, oh what's up, bud? Like, let me pause the interruption to your interview so that you can be heard answering during your interview, kind of thing. But it was fucking, yeah, it was great. And then, because then Cody's like, too, he's like, hey, yeah, man, just fucking, Oh, but the very first response Sugar throws at him is because I think that's the end. They're like, "Hey, Cody, this and that, blah blah blah," and they go, "So Sugar, now he's talking about going to one or Cody's going down to 125, this and that. What the fight with you? What do you think about that?" And then Sugar's like, "He's like, this guy hasn't won a fight. He's won one fight since 2017." And it's like, "Ooh, yeah, I guess that." He's won as many fights as Sugar has lost since 2017. Or I guess 0 if you ask Sugar, but yeah. Cuz before there was another one too. Was it before the No, it wasn't. It wasn't before the Chito. It might have been before the Chito fight actually. Cuz when Cody was talking shit to Sugar and he's like, "Yeah, just get carried out on a stretcher again." Because he did get carried out on a stretcher for... Fuck, what fight was that? Quinones? No. Whenever he fucking like broke his foot and he still won the fight. He won the decision. But either way. So before, Cody kind of had some ammo, I guess. But now it's like he just got knocked out. Well, okay. The sentence I was going to say is he just got knocked out by Kai France. Which doesn't... I feel like saying it that way is like, and then he goes and gets knocked out by Kai France. But it's like, of course. I'm not saying that to belittle, because of course Kai France knocks people out, or the last couple fights, or in the UFC. I think he just started, but before the UFC, he was knocking dudes out. I think his nickname is like "Don't Blink" or something like that. But anyway, so then he gets fucking wrecked by Kai France, which is, Kai France is good. He is good, and then. So it was like the question going to is like, can Cody carry, like, how will one, because I think he took a year, either 7 months or a year to get down from 35 down to 125. Because, it's not a fucking, like, just an issue dieting. It's like a whole body change you got to do to get there. And so it's like, all right, so does he carry his speed and power that he had at 35? Does he maintain that going down to 25? And like how bad is the cut gonna deplete him, etc. Because sometimes you have guys. I'm trying to think of someone that. I mean, I guess Jose Aldo, when he came down, didn't he fight? He came down and fought Marlon Moraes, lost, but we all felt like he won that fight. Who else has gone down and it looked good? I think historically going up, people look better going up. Going down, not as much. So I think like all the champ belts too, like they went up. Conor went 45 and 55. Yeah. Conor did 45 and 55. And then who's after that? Cormier. Conor did 45-58. Cormier did light, so 205, and then heavyweight. So he did light heavyweight and then went to heavyweight. Amanda. Oh wait, did she go 35 and then 45 or 45 and then 35? Oh, because she. Oh yeah, because she beat. Oh fuck, who did she take the belt from at 35? Misha. But anyways, yeah. So she got the belt at 35. Yeah, because I don't think she was champ yet. And I think she beat Cyborg. And when she beat Cyborg, then she was champ. But anyway, I'll have to double check but historically, yeah, I think either way. I'm rambling now. But anyway, so Cody he went down from 35 to 25. And just got fucking lit up. Sleeped. But yeah. So the question is, where does he go from here? Because he was on that like 2-fight losing streak, and then he had that, I think, knockout of the night. But it was a great knockout either way. But I think he got knockout of the night. I'm pretty sure it was a knockout of the year contender too against Asensio. Man, but too also Garbrandt, his fight when he beat Dominick Cruz, that's one of the most incredible performances ever. I mean, there's all you can say whatever, like Cruz coming off injuries, blah blah blah, etc. 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 But like Cody looked his footwork, his hands. He was just fucking like no one ever has did that to Cruz either, and up to that point. So that fight when he won that belt, that was one of the greatest performances. Watch that. Go back and see that fight. Cody Garbrandt against Dominick Cruz. Fuck, I don't remember which UFC that was, but it was. I'll put it up, but it was fucking great performance. But anyway, so it's sad. It's like sucks to see going from that, and then like he gets knocked out like twice in a row. He's on his like former champion, looking at his contract being done. Then he gets that knockout against Asuncion, and then they like, all right, yeah, we'll give you a chance to go down. He was supposed to fight for the belt against I think Figueiredo last year, but then I think he got COVID, and then the fight with Figgy and Moreno happened. Then their rematch. So, but yeah, I mean, so it's like, yeah, if he's getting knocked out like that, I mean, Kai Front is, I don't know what he was ranked, but yeah, he's top of the pile. So yeah, go back up to 35 because I mean, he left on a win. He left 35 on a win. So maybe the weight is just, or maybe they give him another fight at 25. Who knows? Ugh, but it's not looking good for him. It's looking much better for Sugar than it is for Cody Garbrandt. I mean, could that be a fight down the line? Maybe, but I mean, I feel disrespectful saying that to Cody Garbrandt, but I feel like maybe they like for Sugar's next fight, like because I think this was the last fight on this contract, so now he's renegotiating. Because before he passed up on I think the Frankie Edgar fight that Chito took in Madison Square Garden, because he's like, no, I don't want to fight over in New York because the taxes are stupid crazy. He's like, I'll fight in Vegas. But anyways, yeah, interesting. So we'll see what they're gonna do next for Sugar. So he's renegotiating his contract, and I mean, they can't. I mean, look at it. He's unranked, opening up the pay-per-view, and I'm pretty sure his fight against Chito was a co-main. Was it a co-main under Stipe and Cormier? I think it might have been. So he's a co-main on like a huge fuck. So I mean, he has the trajectory. They want him to that trajectory. So his next fight is gonna be somebody ranked. It's gonna be somebody ranked or somebody a big name. Like it's gonna be they're either gonna co-main or main event them. Like main event a fight night, co-main another pay-per-view. Because what do you think? What do we think? 3 Sugar's on 3 fights to a title fight. Or they're gonna probably sign him like an 8-fight contract. I mean, they gotta. If he's free, like you can't let him go everyone would pay so much money for him to go anywhere else. So much. There's no way they can. That would be the fucking dumbest for the UFC to let him go. But another thing is too, like, who would I like be excited about seeing him fight in other promotions? Like, cause it's like UFC, like we want to see him get that UFC belt. But I mean, Sugar, he'll be a star wherever he goes. Like that's the kind of guy like that you fucking promoters what gym I feel like in a way. Besides the fact, of course, he's a star, so you got to deal with that dynamic of they know their value, so you can't fuck them over, promoters, right? Oh, not fuck them over, but whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm just sucking Sugar's dick and saying, fuck, that sucks for Cody. Like, I didn't like Cody at first, and then I saw him in that fight against Cruz, and then like how he's loyal, like when in the Ultimate Fighter season was Connor and Uriah Faber. Like he had Uriah's fan. Like you can tell he's a good dude. He has that kid. I can't remember his name, but I think he raised money from the kid that had leukemia, and he had him like come in when he won his belt. He had the kid come in and hold the belt for him and whatnot. So like, he does a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, see where he goes. BKFC, Triad, who knows? Something with boxing, but because would he keep doing? Because I'm trying to think, would he make more? I mean, because he could go to another MMA promotion, but I feel like BKFC or whatever will pay him good money. I wonder how much. Like, I think Paige Van Zandt got $1 million for hers, but also she brings a lot of eyeballs. A lot of eyeballs. Anyways, so Frankie. Oh yeah, Cody. So yeah, that's pretty much. My notes are. I can't read it. Chases. What does that say? I don't know. Cody takedown. He gets up. Cody knocked out. Yeah. Yeah, and then the Nunes fight. Fuck. So interesting. So, spoiler alert. Yeah, who didn't know? Amanda Nunes. Oh, yeah, I talked about it. She gets beat by Juliana Pena. Juliana was talking to, man, like coming into, I was like, what a fucking, there's no way she can't, there's no way she's going to beat her. And someone was asking, like, does Pena have a chance? And I was like, I mean, everybody has a chance. But, like, her chance, like, she's great boxing. She has fast hands, good boxing. So it's like, her chances, but it's like, is Amanda going to stand in the pocket and box with her and just, like, eat them? I was like, no, she's going to be in, out. She's going to hit her. All she has to do, like, this is what I was saying before. I was like, Pena's going to have to, like, just keep the pressure on and just be outbox her for the whole time and hope to get enough in there that to win by points or to take her out. But I was like, but I don't think Amanda's going to stand around long enough for her to just keep dropping those punches on her. And all Amanda has to do is land 1 or 2 good punches and Pena's going to sleep, or she's going to take her down to the ground. Fucking, and then ground and pound, submit her, or fucking TK her and get doctor stoppage from cuts. That was my prediction going into it. But the bang down, I was like, Pena, I was like, if she stands in there and boxes with her and just straight boxes the whole time, I was like, yeah, she could. And then she gets in there, that's what she does. But also, fucking lip. Where's my chapstick? But so she gets in there and so Nunes does. So she lands on Pena because you can see like this mouth just she's landing on her, but Pena's not going out. So she's standing there and boom, 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 and they're just going back and forth, boom, 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 boom. Because usually when Amanda hits chicks, it's like boom, 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 and they're like, oh shit, and then they're out. They're either like, oh shit, or they're just like, oh, out. But Pena like took them, and you could tell like Nunes is like, because usually people fall down. She's like crack, 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 and looked at her to be like, yep, gotcha, and then she's crack, crack, crack right back. There's a couple times where Nunes like, where she looked like, oh shit, that hurt. Like she made it look like made the face that women make when she hits them. So yeah, and then Pena fucking beats her down the ground. She fatigued. She's beat up. Pena doesn't even get her like fully on her back and chokes and rear naked chokes her. But I think Amanda knew like she was gassed. She was like, all right, I threw all my hardest punches. We grappled. She took my back. She's like, this is how the fight's gonna keep going. And then she tapped. And like one of my buddies, what did he say? He says, he was like, sorry, but I've gone over it a couple times now, and I wouldn't put it past Nunes for whatever reason she did it for. She tanked the match on purpose. She allowed herself to get hit in the exchange, knowing it would look real. She was barely choking her, and she tapped. And her reaction after she tapped was just too sportsmanlike. Well, I think that's crazy to say that she threw the fight by getting punched in the face, trying to make it look real. Sounds, I mean, is it possible? I guess, but it sounds nuts. Just the same thing with people that are like with Ben Askren, and they're like, oh, it was he threw the fight. And I was like, he threw the fight by like not training, but he got knocked out. People are trying to, that he got knocked out. like, I just want to be allowed to punch people in the face that look at that and say, no, that was fake. Like, have you ever been hit in the fucking head? You fucking imbecile. Anyways, those are the imbeciles. My buddies. I don't think he's an imbecile, but I think he's wrong for saying that Nunes tanked it. I think her motivation isn't as strong. Like, I think before coming up, she wouldn't have tapped right away, right there. I feel like because then her boxing was also puppies are coming in. Her boxing was also smarter in her other fights, like this one, because she just stood in the pocket and fucking banged. So I don't know, maybe part of it, and part of it too was her wanting to show like that she's not scared of pain, like she's not gonna take a back step. And there's one exchange where they didn't, and she went underhooks, and she was like, you can tell she's like, fuck. She's like, I stopped swinging and I had to fucking clinch before she did. So I think it was just, I think she was genuinely surprised by the tenacity, the pressure of Pena and the strength. Because when she was getting hit there, she was looking like, oh fuck yeah, these hurt. And then when she was choking her out, because when Pena started to get on her back and I saw her, I looked at the mat and you could see blood dripping across the mat. So she was cut, bleeding. She's breathing out of her nose. She's not able to breathe, or it's running back into her fucking throat and her lungs. And she's on her back and she's gassed out. So, you know, and because especially when that exchange where she was like, boom, 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 takes him back. And then when she goes in and clinches, you could see in her face, she was just like, I clinched. You could see she was just like, and she almost laughed too. And you could see at the beginning of the fight, she was smiling, like when they're cracking each other, she smiled. She's like, oh, she got me. She's like, this is a fight. You can, in her face, that's what in my head I'm thinking. You can look, but then. So then at first she's like, oh, yeah, this bitch got me. All right, we're swinging. And then when Juliana kept cracking her face, she stopped smiling. She wasn't like, oh, this isn't fun. This is real. This is a real fight now. So I mean, Pena won it. And she did exactly, man, all that shit she did exactly what she said she would. So I'm really interested. I mean, immediate rematch. She said that too in the pre-fight, whatever. Stuff leading up to it. Pena said, if she's like, when I beat her, I will give her an immediate rematch because I want everyone to know that I beat her. She's like, I don't want there to be any question about me being champ. I want everyone to know this wasn't a fluke. She's like, I beat her. So, immediate rematch. I'm more interested in seeing Pena's next fight against anybody else only because I want to see. I was like, if she did that to Amanda Nunes, I want to see what. It's like, why? Like, she needs to be doing this to everybody. She should be doing this to everybody. And then part of it too, I'm thinking maybe the cut. So like, same like we're talking about Cody cutting. Yeah, even though Nunes, I think she's defended this belt. Is this her? I think this was her sixth defense of that belt, of the 35-pound belt. So damn, I just lost my whole train of thought. Anyway, so yeah, I'm interested to see. But yeah, immediate rematch, okay. But I'm also thinking maybe, and like to my buddy's point about she tanked it, I was like, maybe it's the motivation to keep that belt. Like she went out there and fought like most of the other women, like all the other fights when Amanda Nunes has fought, they go down. Like no one stands with her and goes like she knocked out Cyborg. You know, it's crazy. So I think, Pena was just that strong. Oh, that's the thing I was saying. Like maybe the cutting down. So I'm sure she's like, fuck, I can just stay at 45 then and be the 45 queen and not have to keep cutting down to 35. So I'm sure like that had to be a factor in there. Like it's cutting down to 30 sapped some of her energies, maybe it's the power, whoever. But end of the night, Pena won. So, but I am that's the other thing. I am interested in. So if Nunes, maybe she's done with 35. Now she put all her energy into 45, only fighting at 45, and then getting ready for Kayla Harrison to come over. Because that's a fight I want to see. Her and Kayla Harrison at 45 or 55. 45. feel like it has to be at 45. But anyways. Oh, so then that also opened. So now that Pena is the 35 champ, I was like, because I also want to see Valentina and I want to see the Shevchenko Nunes 3. I mean, I guess a lot of people don't, but I want to see. I need to see that. I need to know. And I was like, oh, what if Shevchenko goes up to 35, fights Amanda at 35, and so she can be the 25 and 35 champ. Now Juliana Pena is the champ at 35. Valentina has beaten Juliana before, so and there's arguments to be made that she won the 5 round against Amanda, the last split decision. So I want to see because now that Nunes isn't holding the belt at 35 anymore, I feel like how can we not make that argument that Valentina needs to fight Juliana for a champ. So that puppy needed to go out. Put a little button or the thing. I recorded my voice saying outside. So now she goes on and she's like, she'll slap the thing like outside. All right. Anyways, that covers pretty much all of that. But yeah, because Valentina beat Pena back when UFC was on Fox. So I would like to see that. Anyways, I'm right at an hour. So let's cut it out. Let's see if I can hit this thing. Oh yeah, that's the one. All right. Oh dang, I don't like the way that one's centered. Oh, that's why it does that. That makes sense. Got it. Anyways. Oh yeah, get your Broken Jar Head merch. Promo code Hoogkin BOGO. Buy one get one sticker, or Ogre Actual for 17.75% off. I think is what it is, 17.76. Anyways, for a percentage off. So Hoogkin BOGO for the stickers, or Ogre Actual for the percentage. Oh yeah, but this is the Iron Ducks thing. Credit to me. I get credit for he made it, but I was like, hey, what about remember Iron Ducks? But I can't swim. I was an Iron Ducks, so sorry for fucking up that stereotype. Half Filipino. What do you want me to say? Island boy. You see that dude getting beat up by his girlfriend? Like he's like crying, and she's like beating him on like a live stream or something. And he's like, please stop hitting me. She's like, how can you put your hands on a woman? How dare you? Or something like. I'm like, wait a minute. So he was like beating her or hitting her, and then she started recording, and then and then suddenly now he's crying. It's like, who knows what the whole thing was, but it was like, of course, if it was the other way around, if she's bawling and he's recording her live stream and being like, oh, you put your hands on me? See, that's what happens when you put your hands on me. And then she's like, please don't hit me anymore, crying. There would have been fucking riots. But I mean, also, I don't feel bad for him getting beat up by his girlfriend. Just terrible. It happens. Abuse happens in all directions. But whatever. That just popped in my head because Island boy. Whatever. But yeah. So Valentina, the next champ. That's what we want to see. We want to see Valentina fight fucking Juliana Pena for the next champ. And of course, let's get this rematch. I mean, do we need? I mean, I love Amanda Nunes as champ, but do we? She doesn't. She doesn't care. I mean, I think she cares, but I don't think she's not pressed to hold that. You know, she's a fucking brand new wife, she has brand new wife, brand new fucking baby. She got fucking her whole like her life set up in Florida, so it's like she's on top of the world. Shit is sweet. She doesn't need to kill herself to get down to 135 anymore. Because she was tanked the fight. Come on, man, get out of here. Oh, shut the fuck up. Tanked the fight, man. Come on. And I'm talking shit because he never wants to come on here and talk to me about it. So just we text about it and whatnot. But so hey, I've offered the space to come in to refute me calling you a fucking idiot for saying tanked, but not a fucking idiot, but just come on, tanked. It's like, anyways, that's.